Well, we have different people in different countries, you know, working all over. He's always a step ahead of it. But here, I guess his luck run out.
Oh, it's about 6 guerrillas who were with Che when he died in Bolivia, and they were able to escape alive from Bolivia, and they came back to Cuba with the helps of Salvador Allende and de Gaulle, the General de Gaulle, the French resistance. And it took me 22 years to tell this story to the world. So it's a little bit weird to end in Cannes, we say that. So that's it.
Nosotros nunca concebimos retirar.
I met one of them in 2004, and I started to co-write his biography with him. And then, because he was, I started to put a camera on his testimony because he was. I didn't speak Spanish at that time, so I needed someone to translate for me. So I started with him, and then after a few contacts and few years, I realized that maybe it's possible to do a documentary about all of them. That was a seed that Benicio del Toro put in my mind in 2007 when I met him after he did Che Guevara, because I co-wrote a biography of one of the survivors. So of course he worked with him and on my book. And he told me, "Oh, you do a documentary about Benigno, but what will be completely crazy is to do a documentary about all of them. But it's impossible to meet all of them because they are all around the world. They don't talk to each other since 40 years, and so I don't want to say that at that moment I knew I will do it 20 years after." But it's true that I was like, yeah, it's right. It's difficult. Even just meeting one guy, it's difficult. And then after a trip, after contact I've got in the left, I was able to almost get contact to all of them. I missed 2, but once you have 80% of your main character, you try to find a way to get all of them. And at the end, they are all in the same documentary. So I'm glad that I was able to save that, this story, because I think it's an interesting story in the shadow of well-known people.
C'est en plein procès à Camiri que Régis Debré et Ciro Bustos apprennent la mort du Che.
Vous ne croyez pas que c'était une erreur d'entreprendre ce qu'il a entrepris en Bolivie?
Non. Après, c'est facile à dire. Avant,
Oui,
c'est beaucoup plus
bien sûr.
difficile. Les militants sont des gens qui se risquent toujours un peu.
First of all, to meet them was really difficult. Then once you have one of them in front of you, they used to just answer one question because nobody's give a shit about them. It's like, what was the last time you saw Che? It's also a question, of course, I asked because this is the unbelievable. But once they answered this question, I was like, what about your childhood? And what about you when you were able to escape? And often the reaction was like, this is not interesting. And I was like, yes, it is. This is my documentary. And really often it was, no, but Che was, I said, no, I know, but Che, there is a lot about Che, no worries, it's you. I'm interested about you. And so little by little, you have to, some of them, they were angry against me because the question was too personal. But I was like, I know, but I need your story. I need who you are. And I think the more and more I go with this story, the more and more I think they saw that I tried to be honest. And even when I had difficult question, I say, I know it's a difficult question. And if someone asks me this question, I would be like you, like very shy. But I need. I always say that. I say, it's not for you that you're going to talk. It's for the world. I say, I know it's a huge sentence, but we need to know who you are. Because often revolution, people, they talk about main character, like the figure, Che Guevara, Fidel Castro. And I say, but people who's doing revolution is unknown people. And I think you deserve to get known by a huge audience.
Es la que empieza a entrar definitivamente en su propia historia. La empieza a escribir.
I did a graphic novel in 2013 with the same guy who did the animation with us. And but even at that time, I would never be able to say, oh, I do that, and then in the future I will put animation. No, it's because with my editor, when we were in front of the editing room, we realized that the interview, which I think they are really strong, like the main character are really powerful, the way they told their story. But then we missed two things. Well, the archives, of course, but we missed what I call the memory trip from when Che died to when they were able to come back to Cuba. Because they told me, you know, we went through jungle, through cities, through desert, and to say it, it's okay, but to really live it as an audience, like experience the way to get there, lost in the middle of... I think it helps to put the audience in their shoes, like, and then the animation is because we realized in the editing that we missed something.